to our wide receiver room.
Nice
So
receiver room here, guys.
what you'll see here is I got 5 guys that I'm pretty sure are going to be locks, and then I have bubble guys, and we'll go through them all. So we'll start with Stephon Dix, our alpha dog in the room. Last year he had 103 catches, 1,225 yards, 10 touchdowns on his career. So in Buffalo, he's had almost half his catches in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He's 2 years he became
he became a stud in Buffalo.
He was super good in Minnesota. They didn't use him right.
No,
at all.
He wasn't a stud either. Like, I think he was good.
Dude, he was pretty studly. Like,
he was good, but he didn't have the numbers because he didn't have the quarterback. And not only did he have a quarterback, remember, Mikey, his gripe there was because the offensive coordinator was trying to switch it more to a running style offense.
The head coach. The head coach was doing that.
The head coach,
and Thielen and Cousins were like, Diggs was really, really good when Keenan was there.
Yeah.
Like Diggs, made all those. They were on the same page. Yeah. And then Cousins came in, and he seemed to connect with Thielen more.
Yeah.
And Diggs was they kept running him deep. He was just the deep guy, and he drove him crazy.
Right.
They didn't use him. He came to Buffalo, and in the 2 years in Buffalo, he has 230 catches of his almost 600.
Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah. Like back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons.
I'm sorry. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over 1,000 yards. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's definitely alpha dog 1A. He's in the, top 5 when you're talking about wide receivers today.
Yeah. Yep.
All those things. Then we have Gabriel Davis, our young buck.
Yep.
Really kind of broke out towards the end of last season. He had 35 catches for 549 yards, 6 touchdowns. On his career, he has 70 catches, 1,148 yards, and 13 touchdowns. He's been a big play machine. He's also been option 4 in this offense for the last 2 years, and now he's going to be graduated to probably option 2 going forward.
Yes, yeah, I definitely expect him to be option 2. I thought that playoff run, that was his kind of a breakout moment. Even though he was already showing flashes since he's been a rookie onward. But that was his look at me moment, and where people have to take notice now. And the problem is people are going to have to take notice, and that leaves somebody else open now, right? That's why this receiver room is so deadly now, because Gabe Davis, man, I tell you what, he has the prettiest toe taps. Like, when, I don't know how he does it with those, Mikey, but he's legit.
Great body control.
Yes. Great body control. I also feel like him and Allen are finally getting on the same page, because it takes a minute. Just like Dawson Knox and Allen, I felt like it took a couple seasons for them to really start to gel and, get on the same page. And Diggs just happened to be on the same page right away, right? And that doesn't always happen. But I think Gabe Davis, being a rookie, being 4th, like you said, right, behind John Brown, Cole Beasley, right? So it took him a little bit to get on the field, see more action. Right, Emmanuel Sanders. So now I feel like, it's his time. And I think him and Josh Allen he'll see more action on the field. He'll be the number 2.
Yeah, he's trusted. He's earned. Yeah. McDermott always talks about earning your spot, earning your reps. I think he's done that over the last 2 years. Emmanuel Sanders said, "This guy's different." He went on Good Morning Football and was talking about him. He's like, this guy could be one of the best receivers in the league. He's just built different. He's wired different, which is awesome. What that means. Yep, he's gonna need to get paid. So our 1-2 or 2 guys we know already, and Diggs and Davis. We have a new slot guy this year.
We do.
Cole Beasley is gone. Insert Jamison Crowder, who was a fantastic slot receiver last year in New York with a horrific quarterback situation. He had 51 catches, 447 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's fantastic with run after the catch.
Very good. Yeah, he's.
I think he's going to excel, much like a lot of those other receivers that have come into Buffalo, who were kind of like on the Beasley and Brown. They had good years, but they had their career years with Allen. I have a feeling Crowder's going to have a big year with Allen as well.
I agree. And the only thing is just getting on the same page, like Cole Beasley was. Cole Beasley, I can't knock him. He was Josh Allen's go-to when Josh Allen was in trouble, and he was listen, when he threw to Cole Beasley, I knew Cole Beasley was going to catch the ball, right? Like, I never feared Cole Beasley was going to make. He was always in the right place, right, Mikey? So that's something maybe Crowder and Allen will have to get familiar with each other and earn that same thing, that trust. Like, Allen's going to, because Allen, he took it takes him a little bit to start to trust a player, trust a running back, to hand the ball off, to go to this guy, to go to Dawson's, go to Gabe. So I think even though Jameson's been around a little bit, he's still going to have to get familiar with the offense, new coordinator with Allen. So, but I think it'll take a couple games. But I think once they get that down, Crowder's a blessing in disguise, man. I think that was a steal in free agency that a lot of people,
one of the most
were like,
underrated signings is Jameson Crowder. I agree,
100%. And he burnt us every time we played him. By the way, had great games.
He killed us because it's that little underneath, because he can take that underneath and take it to the house.
And that's one thing. That's one thing. Even though I love Cole Beasley, his yards after catch weren't the best. Like, he get the ball and go down, and which is fine. He got the first down most of the time, but he wasn't going to get a good yak. And
Crowder's bigger than Beasley was. Beasley was a small guy.
No, Beasley's a real small guy. I understand that, but one thing, we're not going to bring it up now, but Allen would have probably had, guys, no joke, over 5,000 yards if the yak was up
league
there
average,
with the rest.
Just league average.
Yes, he was 17th. I believe in yak. We weren't good yards after catch. So if that number can improve, you're going to see Allen in that 5,000 passing yard, 100%, guys. So you got to take that. You got to understand that. That's why Allen didn't get to the 5,000 last year. It wasn't because of Allen. It was because he didn't get much help after the catch.
I don't disagree. So moving down, we have Isaiah McKenzie. Last year had 20 catches, 178 yards, 1 touchdown.
Thomas,
Ultimately, he also did a lot of the special teams and the gadget guy. On McKenzie's career, he has 99 catches, 922, 7 touchdowns. All of that's with Allen.
You see Charity coming and saying he's the face of the franchise. Yes.
He is a spark plug. If guys try to run man against us, you put in McKenzie and let him go.
I love McKenzie, man. I've always, like, me and Mikey were last season. I remember me and Mikey were just so mad for like most of the season why McKenzie was not being used correctly in the system when he was used properly the year before. So it wasn't like he got his chance the year before he sucked and didn't.
No, he was great.
He was great, and then we just totally went away from it. And I remember me and Mikey coming in, because we had a show every Friday, which we still do. But we come on every Friday and just our number one complaint, win or lose, was why isn't McKenzie involved in the offense? Like, it made no sense, right? Like, why is he in the doghouse? I just remember going, okay, so fine, he didn't do great in kick return, but that's not what I put him back in the gadget. Like, that's what we in the jet sweep, the motion sweeps. Like, he excelled with that, and we just totally, I felt like, just took it away from him. And I'm glad. That's another reason why I'm glad Dable's gone, because I think Ken Dorsey will understand McKenzie can be very
Brady,
useful.
Shula, that little crew will find a way to use him.
Yes, like when he's used, he gets us yards. He makes plays. It's not like he drops the ball, or you know what I mean. Or like, he's a pretty good receiver. And by the way, been here since 2018. He's been here a long time. Go ahead, Mikey. Sorry, had to go on a little rant there.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you, Thomas, for pointing out my grammatical error. I apprate that.
Oh, what happened?
And receiver. I spelled it wrong.
Oh,
but that's fine.
Gosh.
That's fine. Dude, I did this. What was it? Sunday morning?
You did. Mikey worked very hard on this guy.
Yeah, I did the Sunday morning.
It's
to give you guys some visuals. But anyways, that's fine. Ultimately,
that's going to eat at Mikey for a long time.
It's going to. It's going to like be that earworm that just sits there and just nitpicks at me. McKenzie, ultimately, I do think he's
God.
going to have a bigger year. He's going to have a bigger role in the offense this year. And then we move over to our rookie, Shakir. Last year he had 77 catches, 1,117 yards, 7 touchdowns in college. On his career, he had 208 catches, 2,878 yards, 20 touchdowns. So he's been a consistent guy. He can play inside, he can play outside. He's going to fill the Gabe Davis role of last year. He's going to be the number 5 option probably on this team. In the 5 or 6 option, who's gonna come in, probably get a catch, or maybe 3 targets a game, and come up with some big plays, big touchdowns like Davis did.
You're talking about Shakir, correct?
Yeah,
correct.
That's what I'm thinking of.
So I love this. By the way, I absolutely love this draft pick. Like, I really, really think this kid is going to have a good good career in the NFL. He can catch, man, and he can get open. He's pretty decent route runner. I think he's our future slot. But just like Mikey said, I think this season, because we're pretty deep in receiver. I got to be honest with you. I think Khalil Shakir will see the field. I just don't know if it's going to be a lot of time on the field. I think he's going to get that Gabe Davis kind of first year. You're just not going to see him as much, but I think he'll make a few plays here and there for the team. Yep. But I think the following season is when he's going to have that breakout kind of year that you're going to be like, okay, like this guy's good. But yeah, first season he'll be on the team. I just don't know if you'll see the field a lot, unless there's an injury.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like I said, I see him playing in that Gabe Davis role where you maybe catches 35 passes on the year. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, coming in with a question for you, buddy.
Are you sold on these receivers? What I think is the Bills will start. The Bills will be better on defense, which will relieve the pressure on Allen on the offense. I don't expect that at all. I expect the offense to hit the ground running. I do think the defense will be better, but every last few years we've looked at it. 2019 it was the defense. Held up and the offense didn't. 2020, it was more of the offense and not the defense. Last year, they both struggled at times. Still the defense ended up number 1 overall.
I thought the defense showed out a little bit more than the offense, especially early on.
Except in the playoffs, a game.
Final one game. Yeah, final. Yeah, the one that counted. Game. But we are also down a man, an important man. Let's be real.
But I would like to see them both. The offense was like in top 5 last year, and the defense was number 1 overall. I want to see both top 3 this year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm expecting.
I think it will. To Mikey's point, I think we will finally have a well-rounded team. I think on both sides of the ball. I think the defense now has found their identity, and they improved by adding Von Miller. We still got our same defensive coordinator with Leslie Frazier. You're bringing back a bigger, better defensive line. You got Gregory Rousseau going into his second season, which he's going to be better. By the way, he bulked up. He's looking crazy in shape. And then you got Boogie Basham, who's going to probably be better. So
who's slimmed down.
Who's right. So our defense has improved, if anything. And then I feel like our offense has improved. So our offensive line, just go through that. Right. Yeah. So you got a whole revamped, pretty much offensive line. You got a new offensive coordinator who's going to be calling the calls. You got a new offensive line coach who's way better than the one we had last year. So I think this is going to be the most dangerous football team this season, in my opinion. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm saying that because it's the truth, and that's why we're by many people predicted to go to the Super Bowl, because we are very dangerous on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
we got weapons everywhere. Go ahead.
I'm expecting the top 3 from both. Like you said, on defense, we revamped that D line. On offense, we revamped the wide receiver core. We brought in some new elements. We revamped our O line, and when I say we revamped our O line, we really didn't, because we have 4 of the 5 returning starters. But we inputted a Pro Bowl left guard.
Right. Well, we got Saffold, and I will say this. Yes. Ryan Bates, though, was not starting at the beginning of the season last year. Right. So technically he wasn't the starter from,
well, I mean, just how he ended the year.
Right. So, you got, and then I also got to go back and say Deion Dawkins, he had COVID and he wasn't the same. Like he's 100% now. Then to Mikey's point, you got Saffel, right? Then you got a guy named Tommy Doyle, who's looking really good in OTAs so far. You got Mitch Morse, who's one of the better centers in the league. And you got Spencer Brown, who's coming back for year 2, Mikey, who, man, by the way, guys, we're going to stop talking about this because we're going to get into this next week when we talk about offensive line and defensive line. We're not going to go too, because we're going to be really diving deep into this next week. So I'm going to cut it now so we don't give it all away, but we will be talking about that next week, guys. So join us next week.
Ultimately, to answer the question, I am sold on the receivers.
Yep.
I like the skill sets that we have. I thought we needed a deep threat, and then we went out and signed Tavon Austin, who falls under on the bubble. So we have about 6 guys who are on the bubble. We have Kumaro, Tavon Austin, Marquez Stevenson, Isaiah Hodgins, Tanner Gentry, and Neil Powell, who's rookie UDFA.
Yeah.
Hodgins, Gentry, and Powell are all practice squad guys. They've never played in an actual game. So really, I think it's going to come down to, because we're probably only going to keep 6 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to come down to Kumaro, Austin, and Stevenson, I believe.
Kumaro's making the team. It just seems like they like him.
But if we only keep 6, that means Austin and Stevenson are gone.
You're right. We'll see. I mean, Tavon Austin right now, to me, is a bubble. He is a bubble. I got to see how he does on kick returns, because I think that's really what they brought him in for, in my opinion. But we'll see. But he is on the bubble right now. If we were looking at the whole receiver room, Kumaro's been here. I think they bring him back multiple times, by the way. So there's something in them that they like, and he's a
fantastic special teamer.
Yes,
special teamer, and he's a great blocker.
Yes, exactly. So I don't see him being cut. Marquez Stevenson, man, I was not sold on him, but I was.
This is the deepest receiver crew we've had yet.
It is.
So there's a chance that Kumaro doesn't make this team.
It is possible. It's very possible. He also could be a trade candidate. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
like he could be.
Send him back to Green Bay.
Green Bay, give him exactly to make Rodgers happy or whatever. Marquez Stevenson, he's not looking good in OTA so far. They're saying that's not good.
Yeah,
for him.
He's had a lot of drops. From
it's not good.
Perino was saying.
Yeah, that is not good for him. But it's OTAs. I'm not too concerned yet. Hodgins just can't stay healthy. Once again, he's hurt. I don't know what's going on with him. Gentry or whatever, he's Allen's old teammate. He's not making the team. At least I don't think so. He's a practice squad guy. Yeah, man. I think out of all those guys there on the bubble, whatever, Kumaro would probably be the guy, but I could also see him being.
I think it comes down to who wins the punt return battle. Is it Stevenson or is it Austin? I think Kumaro could possibly make it as well as a special teams only guy, and we could keep 7. I don't see it. But I think it's going to come down to, who wins the special teams job, and then also what can they give me in on offense. That's why I think they signed Tavon Austin. I think they want him to win the job because he also gives you that outside wide receiver presence.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. Joey coming in saying he was one of the fastest guys in the NFL. He was when he got drafted. Now, I'm sure he slowed down a little bit, but he's still he has wheels on him. I'm not sold on Stevenson. I mean, listen, we'll see. I mean, it's too bad because
Stevenson was a lottery ticket anyways. Drafted.
Yeah, he was a 6th-round draft pick. Okay, so it wasn't like we reached or anything. And listen, I got to give him. I still got to say, hey, he was injured most of the season. He came in and right away was doing punt return. So, we'll see this season.
And horrible weather at that.
Right. So we'll see. He has a lot to prove. He does. Yep. And if he doesn't, it is what it is. Maybe he goes to practice squad.
He probably gets put back on the practice squad. Let him continue to grow and see what we get in year 3.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
So ultimately, when we're looking here, so we looked at that. Obviously, we know Hodgins, Gentry, and Powell probably don't stand a chance. They'll probably be practice squad guys at some point. Who do you expect to, outside of the top 5, who do you expect to make wide receiver 6? Who are you expecting it to be?
On the bubble there, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna say, because they just like Kumaro, man. I'm gonna say Kumaro. I'm gonna say Kumaro makes the squad, but I think all the other guys have an uphill battle, man. I think Stevenson has an uphill battle just because, man, he's gonna be the kick return. Like, that's it. Like, he has to do one job, and if he's not doing it, he ain't making the team, or he ain't making the starting team at least. Isaiah Hodgins just can't stay healthy, bro. I just can't see him making
super
the team.
super talented wide receiver, just hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Yeah. Gentry, I just don't see it happening, and yeah, man,
not with this depth.
No. So I'm gonna say, as of now, now this could change, Mikey, because we don't know. We're gonna have to see how camp goes when they get the pads on, when things are getting serious. I'm gonna say for now, I have Kumaro as that 6, man, because I just think they like. I'm
gonna take Austin. I think Tavon Austin's gonna come in. I think he's gonna take the punt return and the kick return job.
Okay.
And they're going to be able to finally have someone to do that, and will also give him a little something in the receiver game, he'll be more of the outside burner that we don't have today.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that point too as well. I just have to see. We'll see when it comes down to training camp. That's going to tell a lot, man.
Yeah.
Well,
preseason games, and the best part about this is, and this goes back to our quarterback conversation, we now have Matt Barkley as QB3. So we'll see a lot of Case Keenum and Matt Barkley throw into these receivers rather than Jake Fromm and Davis Webb.
Right. Guys that actually can throw the ball. I hated Fromm, by the way. But
I know. Wasted of a draft pick.
Yeah, totally.
So, and then in the room with those guys, obviously Ken Dorsey will be in there because he's the OC, and then wide receiver coach.